All right, so the Yankees took the second game of a series against Minnesota Twins by a score of 9-6. But that was a lot more stressful than it needed to be, I got to tell you. But mainly because they were leading 9-2 heading into the bottom of the ninth inning. And then Brooks Kriske came in and gave us what I called the JWT. You know what that is? The John Wetland treatment. For those of you who don't know who John Wetland is, he was the Yankees closer, I think, in 1995 and 1996 when they won their first World Series. But this guy had a tendency to come into the game leading by 4 runs and give up 3 runs and then load the bases and then get the save. It was almost every time. I think he's the only person ever with like 35 save and like a 9 ERA. But it was just that's exactly what happened tonight. And we used to have half heart attacks on a regular basis, chronic high blood pressure when John Wetland came into the game. That's what I felt when Brooks Kriske came into the game. They gave up hits, home runs. It was like, oh my God, is this actually happening? Could they actually blow this save after a really great performance by Gerrit Cole? That was the other thing tonight, too. I had some questions before this game started. Well, number one, is Gerrit Cole going to be rattled after that ridiculously awful interview and after being singled out by Josh Donaldson? And I don't understand this, too, because almost every pitcher in baseball is doing the same thing because they can. It's not illegal. So, it's almost the equivalent of pine tar on the bat. And, why is he singling out Cole, not DeGrom, not Bauer, not all these other top pitchers? So it was almost stirring the pot a little bit. So I was wondering how Cole was going to react, and he shut Donaldson up tonight. He struck him out twice. He threw 6 innings, 2 runs, no walks, 9 strikeouts. He had a good performance, and his movement was good. He was on. He had the bulldog mentality on the mound, and the bullpen, with the exception of Brooks Kriske, was really, really good, and held down the win. He's now 7-3. So, and my other question was, can the Yankees maintain this momentum? Yesterday was more of a complete type performance by them because they had a little bit of power. They had small ball. They had manufacturing run today. Today it was more reliant on power, and Aaron Judge hit a home run in the top of the first. Stanton hit one in the second. Stanton came back later and hit another one. Miguel Andujar hit one. So they were hitting some home runs today. So they had some power, and it was good to see Stanton's bat. Especially hitting these home runs, one to dead center, one to the opposite field. Brett Gardner had a couple of hits, so his bat is kind of heating up as well. And one of the problems that I've had with the Yankees the last couple of years is you'd have 3 guys here who are hot, the other 3 ice cold, and then when they get ice cold, those guys get hot. There hasn't been a stretch where most of them have been hot all at the same time, and I'm hoping that they figure out a way to do that at some point, particularly late in the season and maybe even in the playoffs, because that would make them a much more difficult team to beat. But it hasn't really happened yet. And Jorge Polanco did hit a home run off Cole, and he did give up a second home run. I don't remember who to, but he still had a solid performance overall tonight. And again, he had some dominating strikeouts, and I really love the fact that he shut Josh Donaldson up for talking smack. So, all in all, it was a good game. And, Gardner had a key double, opposite field double, 2-run double in the second as well. And again, Miguel Andujar had another nice home run. Again, he's another one where his bat's heating up. He might take Frazier's spot in left field because his bat is just really, really good right now. It's his 5th home run in 8 games, and he's on fire. And as we know, this kid can hit. So, I like what I see with Miguel Andujar. And again, the bats that haven't been heating up, like Gary Sanchez is heating up now. Stanton's heating up. Now, that remains to be seen as to whether they can stay healthy, which is the other key. But all in all, they look a hell of a lot better yesterday and today than they have in the weeks prior to that. But that doesn't mean anything. They have to maintain this momentum. And can they continue the momentum and put themselves in a position where they're playing all in all cleaner baseball, more efficient baseball, manufacturing runs, driving guys over, bunting, doing the little things on a regular basis, because that's the other thing that they haven't done for so long that it would be helpful if they do. So, we'll see. We'll see what's happening here. But the Yankees, they look better, and I guess they needed to run into a team like Minnesota, who they have a lot of success against, to do this. So in order to maybe get their heads right a little bit, get their minds straight, just get back on track a little bit. And unfortunately, it's usually at the expense of a team like this. But on the flip side, it's usually, you know, a Kansas City Royal team who's lost 25 games in a row comes into the Yankees and they wind up sweeping the Yankees. So they gift other teams the same thing that the Twins are kind of gifting them right now. So, but nevertheless, they've taken the first 2 games of the season. They scored, I think, 17 runs in a 2-game span. They haven't done that all year, so that's another good sign. And again, hopefully, it's a sign of better things moving forward. Hopefully, they just set themselves on a better path. So, and that's what I'm hoping that they do. So, that's the recap. Another good win by the Yankees. A good performance by Gerrit Cole. I'm glad he rebounded and just kind of, not only from a bad start, but from a bad just interview and optics didn't look good. I'm glad he just came out and he had a game that he did today. So, and he looked really good. And again, he's 7-3. He's got like almost 120 strikeouts already. So he's on par for almost a 20-game season and probably 300 strikeouts, which is something that I don't think a Yankee pitcher has ever had 300 strikeouts, to my understanding, at least in the modern day era, not that I can think of. So that will be a heck of a performance as well. So, but hopefully, they can continue this momentum. Hopefully, the rest of the starters will continue to do what they've been doing, is to give innings and to kind of take a little bit of a breather off the bullpen. And I'm really glad Aroldis Chapman didn't come in tonight, because he was warming up to come in after what Prisky did. So, but all in all, I wouldn't be surprised if Krisky gets optioned now and they bring up somebody else just for that dreadful performance tonight. But we'll see what they do over the next couple of days. And I would keep an eye out on the trade market. I know there's still talks and things like that. They still need to make a few moves. But, a healthy Yankee team and a productive Yankee team is a dangerous Yankee team. So I won't rule them out just yet, even though I was part of the, it's early, and I did move into the we need to do some things boat. So, and I'm going to be one of the first to admit that. But it's nice to see them kind of play like this. But like I said, it's also indicative of them being really streaky. Really good for a batch, terrible for a batch. And now they might be really good for a batch again. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully the bats continue to play well, and hopefully the pitchers continues to pitch well. But that's the recap. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you next time.